Welcome, dear siblings. So, as our foolish footsteps have led us out of the fiery desert of the Emperor, we find ourselves face to face with the mysterious Hierophant. In our modern time, this archetype is one of the harder ones to grasp, I think. And even after reading a simple definition, I certainly would not fault anyone for responding pretty neutrally to it, or even feeling a bit caged by it. It is one of the few pixie images that doesn't immediately sparkle with apparent warmth. Gray pillars, a very serious person at the center, in ancient ceremonial garb, instructing two people. I will admit to having pulled this card in one of my early readings when I first started learning the tarot and staring at the back of the bald heads and thinking, what am I supposed to do with this? This doesn't jam with my playful, muddy, free spirit at all. Does this mean my life is going to be boring and institutional? I'm being real here. I have had that response. So, I think this reaction is forgivable. I mean, it needs to be. It needs to be. But I was missing the roses, the lilies, and particularly the keys. And for Arthur Edward Waite, the Hierophant is the power of the keys. So, my dear siblings, it is no mistake that the Hierophant betwixt two pillars calls to our mind the High Priestess. Our fellow companion on this journey, Marion Marou, noted this correlation, saying, "They are two very different portals to knowledge and wisdom." Let us now meet the Hierophant as Marou met him in her powerful image and poem. I'm the eternal question for the unknown. I am the never saturated greed for truth, whatever this is. My gaze directed to their legacy. I'm standing on the shoulders of the thousands of faded generations, a living library of knowledge, sometimes wisdom. Aligning with the ones before me, evolving insights from their heritage, with both legs firmly rooted in the ground they laid, I am the teacher of tradition. I am the doctrine, and reversed, I am the dogma. I'm Dr. Faustus, and a little bit like you, Marou, I am the Hierophant. Oh, Marou, Marou. When I first received this in my inbox, I was stunned. You opened the Hierophant for me so profoundly. The absolute depth and scope of your Hierophant is humbling and places the receiver within the rich tapestry of human time and thought. Thank you, Marou, so very much. I also spoke about the Hierophant with my dear Natura, and she lit right up, saying that she aligns with the Hierophant very deeply. She pointed out that as this card is the card of the sign of Taurus, that also makes it a card of Venus. But that this is a Venus in the domain of the mental and learning, and that this brings to it an emotional quality, a compassion. And, being of Taurus, the Hierophant is also a bit bullheaded. It is strong and sure about its purpose. And as long as it is operating within the balanced union of body, mind, and spirit, it makes a good foundation for continued learning and growth. It is also Natura who has been highlighting the symbol of the keys to me for weeks. Keys that open every door. And I did not fully understand the symbolism within myself until I approached the Hierophant this week. Thank you, Natura. Your intuition inspires me each day. Now, guys, it is time that we check in on our little Ursula and her spirit fox Kufel. Their time in the desert of the Emperor has left them a little unsure as to where to go next. And so they ask Mr. Lawrence, who is still sat on the blistering sands, musing madly, for directions. He breaks his absorption in his task to answer.
It's the keys you're after, Ursula. You don't want to go cathedral, you want to go to a cave. Temple's never perfectly a temple till it's ruined and mixed up with winds and weak sky and with the herbs.
Ursula and Kufel traveled out of the dry, hot desert. And then they find themselves at the cool, moist, dark entrance of a cave. And from that darkness emerges a woman triforma. No, Ursula catches herself. This is no mere woman. This is a goddess. A goddess more ancient than Ursula can fathom. Ursula finds herself unable to speak. But this goddess does not need her to speak, as she knows what is in Ursula's mind. The goddess speaks in 3 voices. Ah, my little she-bear child of the crossroads. In choosing the path that leads to the keys, you did not know you were seeking me. You need not fear, little one. For it was only I who heard Persephone's cries when she was snatched from the world above and taken into the underworld. I assisted her mother in finding her, and it is I who leads Persephone into the underworld and then leads her back to the upper world each year at the appropriate time. My child, you shall soon find yourself traveling the underworld, although you shall not know this until you are snatched away to it, and this is why you have come to me. You have been initiated, but your further initiation comes from me, and in that time when you have reached the darkest depths, you shall call out for my torches, call out for my keys, and I shall supply you with them as long as you know that there shall be death. But growing from that death is your rebirth. Ursula trembled. Kufel trembled. The goddess continued, Remember, small one, that you choose whether to partake of the food of the underworld, and that within this choice you also choose to belong to both the upper and underworld, to live in a depth of duality. I shall now send you to the beginning of all things, and later you shall find yourself at the end of all things. But then, my child, you shall be at the beginning of all things. And with that, the goddess's torches blazed so brightly that they blinded the girl and the fox, and when their vision cleared, they found themselves in a lush garden, and at Ursula's feet there slithered a long green snake. Well then, It seems that the adventures of Ursula and Kufel have only really just gotten started. We'll have to check in with them next week to discover what happens next. Now, let's join up with our dear companion Mary as she opens us up to the knowledge, direction, and wisdom all around us.
Perfect the art of noticing and embrace true wisdom with the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a symbol of knowledge and wisdom and connection to spirituality. When we are connected to spirit, we are often presented with opportunities to learn and grow. The Hierophant encourages us to be open to receiving this knowledge, to pause and embrace the lessons in front of us. It reminds me of synchronicities that appear at just the right moment, something that grounds us to our deep knowing, a greater representation of something outside of time. The mourning dove is symbolic to me in this way. It's called bringing me back to comfort and connection to spirit, a tangible reminder to be open and willing to learn the lessons in front of me. Take a moment to pause and connect to spirit. There are so many teachers around you if you're willing to look.
Oh, my dear Mary, that was so beautiful. I love that you know how to find the ancient knowledge in the sweet creatures around your home, because you know that the deepest wisdom is held in our animal and plant relatives. We are all one. This journey has been illuminated with such joy and synchronicity. When Marion Marou began her time with the Hierophant, she drew from her tarot deck the High Priestess in reverse, which was just absolutely perfect because that just cracked open the meaning of the Hierophant for her. And when Natura kept bringing to my attention the keys, and then these keys sent me back to Hecate and made me understand that for me, the Hierophant comes to me as Hecate. That was amazing. And Mary let me know that when she was recording her audio in her car, because, bless her, that is the only quiet place she can find at times because she is a mama of 2 kiddos. So, mama's got to find quiet where they can find quiet. She said that as she finished the last line of the dialogue, her car keys fell from her lap with a loud jingle jangle to the floorboards. And she just laughed and was like, oh, the keys, the keys, the keys. The Hierophant has given us such a store of treasure to ponder. But it is now time for us to go visit the lovers. If you would like to participate, you can find the information on how to do so in the description box. And please join us next week for the lovers. We'd love to see you there. Until next time, see y'all later. Bye.